Okay, let's be real for a moment. You've probably been told all your life that if a woman isn't interested in you, you should either just give up or try harder to prove yourself. But here's the raw, uncomfortable truth. Women don't miss men because they need them. Women miss men because those men know how to create such a powerful emotional presence that even when they're gone, she can't stop thinking about them. This video is not about pickup lines. It's not about cheesy tricks or desperate begging. It's about psychology, female psychology. And once you understand how to subtly position yourself, even a woman who wasn't interested at first can find herself replaying your name in her head when you're not around. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds impossible. But trust me, it's not. Because here's the secret. Most men never realize indifference isn't permanent. Attraction isn't set in stone. It's not a life sentence. It's a reaction. And reactions can change. If you know how to flip that reaction, you can completely shift the way a woman perceives you. But listen carefully. Making a woman miss you isn't about chasing her, begging for her time, or proving your worth. In fact, those are the fastest ways to kill attraction. Women don't respect men who try too hard. They crave men who are unforgettable. And unforgettable men don't need to beg to be remembered. So, in this video, I'm going to break it all down step by step. By the end, you'll understand exactly how to trigger her curiosity, her respect, and eventually her desire. And here's the kicker. You'll realize making her miss you has nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with understanding psychology and playing the game differently. 1. Why chasing kills attraction. Here's something most men never want to hear. The harder you chase a woman, the faster she runs. Chasing might feel natural. You see someone you want, so you try. Harder. You convince her. You show more effort. You prove that you're worthy. But in female psychology, this backfires almost every single time. Why? Because chasing flips the balance of power. Instead of her feeling lucky to have your attention, she sees you as the one desperately seeking hers. And here's the brutal reality. Nobody misses what they already have too much of. If you're constantly calling, texting, showing up, proving yourself, you're smothering her with attention. She doesn't need to think about you because you've already made yourself too available. Think about it this way. If someone gave you free food every single day, would you crave it? No. You'd probably get bored. But if that food suddenly disappeared, you'd suddenly realize how much you wanted it. That's the psychology of craving, and it applies directly here. Women don't miss men who chase. They miss men who create space and mystery. Here's the kicker. Chasing also communicates something darker about you. It shows insecurity. It tells her you don't see yourself as valuable enough to stand still and let her come to you. And nothing kills attraction faster than insecurity. Imagine you text a woman 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. She replies with short, dry answers. Most men panic. They text even more, thinking more effort will fix it. But the smart man does the opposite. He stops texting for 2 days. What happens more often than not, she notices. She wonders, where did he go? Why hasn't he texted me? She checks your profile. Sometimes she even reaches out first. By not chasing, you create space. And in that space, curiosity grows. And curiosity is the root of missing you. So before we move forward, ask yourself honestly, are you chasing right now? Are you overcompensating for her lack of interest by giving more? Because if you are, that's not attraction. That's repelling her further, and it ends today. 2, silence speaks louder than text. Most men believe constant communication is the key to making a woman like them. So what do? They text, good morning. They check in with, how's your day going? And then they close the night with, good night. On the surface, it feels like effort, but in reality, it's the fastest way to make her take you for granted. Why? Because when your words are always available, they lose their value. Silence, on the other hand, has weight. It creates tension. It makes her wonder. And in female psychology, curiosity is far more powerful than familiarity. When you go silent, you plant questions in her mind. Why isn't he texting me? What's he doing? Who's he with? That wondering is the very seed of her missing you. Key psychology. Attention is a currency. And silence is how you increase its value. If you hand out your attention nonstop through constant texts, she'll treat it like pocket change. Always. There. Never special. But when you hold back, even for a while, your attention suddenly feels rare, and people crave what's rare. Now, don't confuse silence with immaturity. This isn't about ghosting her. This isn't about ignoring her to play childish games. It's about balance. It's about proving your world doesn't revolve around her notifications. A man who doesn't need to constantly check in shows confidence, independence, and self respect. And that's what makes her lean in. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Example, let's say you've been messaging her daily, but then she suddenly starts replying less, taking longer to respond. Most guys panic and double their effort. They send more texts, hoping to reignite her interest. But the smarter move, you pull back. You don't send a message for a full day. What happens? She notices. She checks her phone expecting to see your name. And sometimes she even initiates contact. That single day of silence created more impact than a 100 paragraphs ever could. Gentlemen, never forget this. Sometimes silence will get her attention louder than words ever will. If she's not responding to your presence, let your absence do the talking. 3. Stop being too available. One of the biggest mistakes men make with women is believing that being available 24/7 will somehow win her heart. You know the drill. You cancel plans with your friends in case she calls. You reply instantly to every text. You make sure she knows you're always there for her. On paper, it looks like effort, but in reality, it makes you predictable. It makes you boring. And worst of all, it makes you forgettable. Think about it. When you're always available, there's no challenge, no tension, no excitement. She knows no matter what. You'll pick up the phone, you'll say yes, you'll drop everything for her. And here's a fundamental truth of human nature. When something is too easy to get, it loses its value. Ever wanted something rare like a limited edition sneaker drop, concert tickets, or even that dream job? The fact that it wasn't easy made you crave it more. But if someone handed it to you without effort, it wouldn't feel special at all. The same psychology applies to attraction. Women don't crave men who orbit around them like satellites. They crave men with their own lives, their own passions, and their own priorities. Men who sometimes say, I can't, I'm busy. Men who don't need to drop everything to gain her approval. Why? Because independence is attractive. It shows you're not desperate. It shows you have value outside of her attention. And that independence is what makes her curious about you when you're gone. Here's the truth. The more available you make yourself, the less she feels the need to miss you. But when you create space, when you show her that your world doesn't revolve around her, that's when she starts noticing your absence. And noticing your absence is the first step to missing you. So, here's your wake-up call. Stop being the guy who's always on call. Stop making yourself the option that's always available because the man who values his time, his life, and his priorities, that's the man she won't forget. 4, mystery beats honesty every time. We've all been told since childhood that honesty is the best policy. And yes, honesty absolutely matters in long-term relationships. But here's the twist. When it comes to attraction, too much honesty too soon, it doesn't build desire, it kills it. Most men think that by laying all their cards on the table, sharing every thought, every plan, every feeling, they're building connection. But in reality, they're removing the very thing that keeps a woman intrigued, mystery. Because attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. And nothing drives emotion stronger than curiosity. When a woman doesn't fully know everything about you, she starts filling in the blanks herself. She wonders, where is he going? Who's he spending time with? What's really on his mind? That wondering keeps her hooked. That curiosity keeps her thinking about you when you're not even around. But when you over-explain everything, when you're an open book from day one, there's nothing left for her to imagine. And if there's nothing to imagine, there's nothing to chase. Relatable example. Think about your favorite movies or TV shows. What makes them addictive? The suspense, the cliffhangers, the unanswered questions that make you tune in again and again? Now, imagine if the movie spoiled itself in the first 5 minutes. Would you stick around? No, you'd lose interest. Women feel the exact same way about men. A guy who tells her exactly how he feels, what he's doing, and where he's going removes all the suspense. And without suspense, there's no thrill. The truth is, mystery creates value. When you don't reveal everything, you force her to pay attention. You force her to think about you in the spaces between interactions. And that right there is the secret. Missing you doesn't start in the heart, it starts in the mind. So remember this. It's not always what you tell her that makes her miss you, it's what you don't. Leave some questions unanswered, and you'll leave her thinking about you long after you're gone. 5. Never compete for her attention. Too many men fall into this trap. They compete for a woman's attention as if it's some kind of prize to be won. They see her post a picture and rush to be the first to comment. They notice other guys around her and suddenly feel the need to outperform them, to be louder, funnier, more available. They think if they can just be the best contestant, she'll finally choose them. But let's be brutally honest. This is weak, and women can smell that weakness a mile away. Here's the reality. If you're competing for her attention, you've already lost. Why? Because real men don't compete. They attract. A man who knows his worth doesn't care who else is texting her, who else is looking at her, or who else is chasing her. He knows his value is self-evident. And if she can't see it, that's her loss. This is where most guys desperately need a wake-up call. Stop putting women on pedestals. Stop acting like her attention is some golden trophy you have to fight for. That mindset makes you look desperate. And desperation never wins respect. Ever seen a guy at a bar or party competing for one woman's attention? He's cracking louder jokes, interrupting others, trying to be the funniest guy in the room. Meanwhile, the guy in the corner, calm, confident, just talking naturally, he's the one she gravitates toward. Why? Because he's not competing. He's living like he is the prize. The truth is simple. The more you chase and compete, the more she pulls back. And who does she usually give her attention to? The man who doesn't try so hard. Because women are drawn to men who create demand, not men who beg for supply. So here's the advice, plain and simple. If you're still fighting for a woman's attention, you're telling her she's above you. Flip the script. You are the standard. You are the one she should be competing for. 6. Confidence is more addictive than love. Here's a hard truth most men don't want to hear. Women aren't drawn to love first. They're drawn to confidence. You can shower her with affection. You can write long paragraphs. You can bend over backwards to prove how much you care. But if you lack confidence, she won't feel that spark. Why? Because love without confidence feels like weakness. And weakness is not attractive. Confidence, on the other hand, is magnetic. It's that unspoken quality that makes people stop and pay attention. It's not about being arrogant. It's not about acting like you're better than everyone else. True confidence is quiet. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move through life without constantly seeking approval. Think about high school or college that you probably saw it all the time. A woman would choose a guy who wasn't the nicest, wasn't the best looking, but he carried himself with unshakable belief. That wasn't an accident. Women are wired to respond to confidence because it signals strength, stability, and leadership. Here's the painful mistake most men make. They confuse confidence with words. But confidence isn't what you say, it's what you do. It's making decisions without hesitation. It's standing by your opinions instead of folding just to please her. It's being comfortable walking away if you're not respected. That kind of confidence doesn't just make her like you. It makes you unforgettable. So, here's the wake-up call. Stop thinking love alone will make her miss you because love without confidence isn't attraction. It's dependency. And dependency doesn't pull her closer. It pushes her away. Confidence is what lingers in her mind long after you've left. That's what keeps her awake at night. That's what makes her miss you, even if she swore she wouldn't. 7. Make her think she's losing you. Nothing makes a woman miss a man faster than the thought of losing him. It's human psychology. We don't value what's guaranteed. We value what we might lose. Too many men mess this up by making themselves a permanent fixture in a woman's life, even when she hasn't earned it. If she knows you'll always be there no matter what, she has no reason to chase you, no reason to appreciate you, and no reason to miss you. But the moment she senses your attention slipping away, the moment she realizes your energy is no longer revolving, around her something shifts. Suddenly she starts questioning herself, what if he's moving on? What if another woman has his attention? What if I've lost my chance? That fear is powerful. It's the spark that triggers desire. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation. This is about self respect. You're not pretending to pull away, you're showing her the truth. Your life doesn't revolve around her. If she doesn't value you, someone else will. And that realization is what makes her feel your absence. Example: think about that moment when a guy she barely noticed suddenly starts dating someone new. What happens? Suddenly she sees him differently. Suddenly she starts thinking about what she lost. Not because he changed, but because she realized he was never hers to guarantee. The lesson is simple: stop making yourself a guarantee. Be willing to walk away. Be willing to let her feel the silence. Be willing to let her imagine a life without you. That's when she starts missing you the most, because nothing stings more than realizing you had a man you can't get back. So remember this: women don't miss the nice guy who's always available. They miss the man strong enough to walk away and let her feel his absence. The bottom line is this: women don't actually miss the man who gives them everything for free. They miss the man who creates space, the man who respects himself, the man who doesn't beg for love because he knows he is the prize. Now, let me ask you, have you ever been in a situation where you chased too hard? Or maybe where your silence actually pulled her back to you? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be checking them personally. I'd love to connect with you, give you feedback, and maybe even guide you through your own situation. Because this channel, Dark Psychology, isn't just about me talking. It's about building a community of men who finally understand female psychology and use it to win respect, not lose it. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. In the next video, I'll expose something that will blow your mind: why giving a woman your full loyalty too soon might actually be the reason she pulls away. So hit that subscribe button right now, tap the notification bell, and smash the like button if this video gave you clarity. And remember, the faster you let go of the wrong woman, the faster the right one finds her way into your life. This is Amelia, and thank you for watching Dark Psychology. Stay strong, stay self-respecting, and I'll see you in the next video. Music.